Welcome to the program, Bill.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
No. Really? Because I'm a delight to be with.
I can't count the vote business? What is this? I mean, there are like 18 people who live in Nevada, and they can't count the vote?
It got late. It was past 10:30. You know Nevada doesn't stay up
That's
late.
when they get up. All right, I mean, really, explain this to me if you can.
I can't.
So Nevada, 6 electoral votes. For the last 13, 14 hours, has been stuck at 75% of the vote counted, with less than 8,000 lead for Biden.
Okay, so let me just I can explain it to you.
Yes.
Labor unions. That's it. That's labor union corruption.
So the labor union guys count the votes, and they're not going to work. Is that what you're telling me?
No, labor unions are notoriously in the bag for Democrats, and they're corrupt, and so they're trying to find new votes.
Why don't you count the votes, Nevada? Why are we sitting here at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central? Why are we sitting here looking at 25% of the ballots in Nevada? State could go either way. Not counted. Can you answer me why?
No. I mean, this happens all the time, Bill. Every election, stuff like this happens.
Got to stop.
I know.
Got to stop with this mail-in madness, because you know, and I know that in Philadelphia and Detroit they're going to cheat. You know, everybody knows they're going to cheat. All right? And I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy. You've known me for many, many years. I don't do that. All right? I leave that to others. No names mentioned. I'm not a conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
But when you set it up for, well, we got another 200,000. We're not exactly sure where they are, but we know we have them. Yeah, okay.
And you know, it wouldn't be so bad. But we all know they're not going to all of a sudden find 10,000 ballots in favor of Trump.
No, we all know what it is.
Right.
We know what it is. But the only way it stops is for Congress to pass a national election law.
Not going to happen.
With standards. Now, I want the states to oversee it. I don't care when the polls open and close. I don't care what kind of machinery you have. But you've got to say, if you want a non-fraudulent system, particularly in this age of technology when it's easy to do this kind of thing, you got to say, this is when the votes have to be counted in every state. Now, if you want to make it 12 hours past Election Day, 24, make it uniformed, because this is insane.
Well, we don't have to worry about it, because we're not going to have a real free, fair election without the Electoral College next time anyway. If they win, you're not going to have to worry about having a free, fair election, because we're going to be dictated to by the big cities. They will get rid of the Electoral College, and they'll start stacking the courts.
The Senate is going to stay in the hands of the Republicans, which is probably the most important story.
It is.
Yesterday.
It is.
All right?
It is.
So the Senate stays in Republican hands, and it will block the fascists and totalitarians from destroying what has worked perfectly now for 250 years. Okay? Not perfectly, but it has worked.
I'm so sick of this. A more perfect nation is what our Constitution is striving for. A more perfect nation. Not a perfect nation. Nobody's perfect. No country's ever perfect. No system is ever perfect. We would just like a more perfect. Every time it should get better. It seems every election since 2000, if the Democrats lose, it's because it was stolen. And they are expert. You notice Florida can get the job done. Florida can get the job done with millions of ballots. But it's strange, wherever the Democrats are in control, they just can't seem to get the job done. They had to stop and take a nappy nap last night.
I guess so, because Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan and Nevada are all run by Democrat governors, and the legislatures are Democrat. So, look, this was
And they're all
fallback
known as
position.
states for corruption as well.
This was the fallback position,
Yep.
and it's happening right before our eyes. Now, I expect Trump to carry North Carolina and Georgia, but that still doesn't give him enough. He needs to take – I think he'll win Pennsylvania with a 600,000 lead as we speak. If that evaporates, then that'll go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, Bill, I said yesterday, I've been saying it for about a week, Donald Trump needs at least 5 points ahead, because 5 points is probably the beginning of a cutoff of being able to falsify. You get into 10% lead and then it just evaporates. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real.
Well, look, we all know that this system is wrong, and it's up to Congress to.
Not going to happen.
Well, all right,
Nancy Pelosi. It's not going to happen.
Right, because Pelosi would never.
Yeah, they never do it.
Never do it in the House, but the Senate has got to try. And Biden, I guess we're awaiting some statement by Biden today, but he's having trouble getting out of his jammy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Bill, that is, we were just talking about this off the air. That's a misunderstanding. Jill Biden said, I think he might talk in about an hour. That's because she walked by the room and she heard, and the press has taken that out of context. He's just going to talk. He's not really going to make a statement for everybody. He's just going to say oatmeal in about an hour.
All right. That was cruel, Beck. I hope you understand that. That was cruel.
I know it was. Today's not my day to be Gandhi.
Okay. Let me know when that day comes. I would like to take photographs.
Don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but
okay.
You never know.
So right now where we stand, talking now on Wednesday morning, the Senate is going to stay with Republicans. So those of us who are traditional Americans and respect and like our country, we don't think it's a horrible race-ridden place. We have that hope for the next 2 years, okay? Now, as far as who's going to be president, the odds are that it'll be Biden, okay? That's the odds, but it's not a slam dunk because Wisconsin, I understand, even though 99.7, they say, percent of the vote has been counted, the ones that haven't been counted are in rural areas. And you know, Beck, because you are a big rural area guy, that those usually go to Trump. And it's a less than 20,000 margin in Wisconsin. Nevada, I'm telling you, there's something wrong there. So I suspect there's going to be litigation that's going to put the nation through more angst. That's going to come. Trump isn't going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, why don't you just produce 400,000 votes for Biden and none for me? Oh, yeah, I'll take that. He's not going to do that.
I have to tell you, Georgia, what a surprise, Georgia. In the democratically controlled county where Atlanta resides, they had all of the ballots in that room with that rusty pipe that blew, and now they just can't count them right away. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
I don't know. It's, Fulton County, isn't that right? That's where Atlanta is? Georgia, I think will stay with the Republicans and stay in North Carolina the same way. But I could be wrong. I remember about 8 years ago I was once. I actually picked every state except Arizona. And what I didn't factor into Arizona was Cindy McCain appealing to the women of Arizona that, Trump's a barbarian and look what he did to my husband, no war hero. That's what tilted it. The other thing that didn't happen for the Trump people was African Americans did not turn out for Donald Trump.
The really big story besides the Senate, that's what everybody should take away from this, and the corruption of those who, as Lindsey Graham said, want power so badly they will do anything to gain it. Besides that, the real story is Donald Trump has changed the demographics of the Republican Party in a good way. In a good way.
Well, I'm not sure about that. He was counting on African Americans to vote for him, and they didn't. In Florida, the Cuban Americans in Dade County came out for Trump, and that put him over the top.
Starr County in Texas. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is
those border counties in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, they're fed up with the chaos that they don't want open borders down there. And Starr County is the poorest county in the country. And it was doing better under Trump. But in Arizona, that didn't happen. So, you know, we're still a divided nation. And a nation now that's not going to accept this verdict. They're not. I mean, you wouldn't see. I mean, I know. I do radio and television and social media on BillO'Reilly.com. I know what people who follow me are saying. They think the fix is in big time. And Trump's going to exacerbate that. You know he will. He'll stoke it.
So then what happens, Bill?
I think it goes to the Supreme Court. I think they're going to pick out a state or two, and they're going to say it was a cheat and file a federal suit that the Supreme's going to have to hear.
I think that is. I think that's right. I mean,
Thank you, Beck. I mean, but you know that I am almost always right.
Except for that one time 8 years ago. Mm-hmm.
You know, it used to be a saying, all the women were looking for Mr. Right. Mr. Right. Well, that was me.
Back in 1810.